let's talk about people who suck the energy out of you. I call them energy vampires. That's just the way that I just termed, and visually it kind of helps me be able to set some boundaries with these people. And these may be people that you're related to, people you're married to, people that you're friends with and have been for decades, or they could be coworkers or just even random strangers on the street. But you'll know them when you are so tired after talking to them. It doesn't matter how long you've talked to them, but that afterwards you just feel drained. And this happens almost consistently every time that you talk to them. Usually these are one-sided relationships, one-sided friendships. They'll come to you with all of their problems or their issues or their challenges, and you have created some sort of block. Either they're not capable of holding space for you and you sharing, or you don't feel comfortable sharing with them. So it's one-sided. This is where it starts to become draining, because part of you probably likes the fact that somebody comes to you and you get to fix and you get to help and you get to focus on their problems. Therefore, you don't have to focus on yours and you don't have to be vulnerable. But when shit hits the fan in your life, who are the people you go to, right? And so if it's not these people, we need to be mindful of how much access we're giving to these types. The energy vampires love unlimited access. And with phones and social media and emails and multiple ways to get a hold of you, it's really easy for somebody to have a lot of access to you. And so you have one of two options. One, you can have energy vampires operating hours. That's your own boundary with yourself. Meaning when said person, an energy vampire, messages you, contacts you, calls you, whatever, you don't answer the phone after 5 p.m., right? You don't have to tell them that, although that would be kind of fun if you did. But just know for yourself, like, I don't have the energy to do this outside of this certain time frame, or I never answer the phone while I'm at work, or I never respond to them on weekends, right? Their urgency doesn't constitute an emergency on your part. Love that phrase, right? Because oftentimes when people who have these like crises, right, and they turn to you and you're there to help them, then everything starts to become a crisis because they have this kind of safe space to go to, but it's only safe because it's one-sided and it's not reciprocal, which is great for somebody like me who does this for a living, right? And so the reciprocity is that I get paid to be a coach. We create the safety container and people then share a lot of stuff that they don't feel comfortable sharing with other people in their life. And I work and I have skills and tools to help them heal. When we're doing that with friendships, though, if it's not agreed upon, and this is like the number one thing with coaches, is that it has to be an agreed upon coaching relationship, or you go to a therapist and it's agreed by both parties that you're going to therapy. If you're being a coach for your friends, this is where it gets to cross a lot of boundaries, and energetically it drains those of you that love to help others and that love to be the go-to problem solver. You're good in a crisis. And over time, we start to build up resentment towards those friendships and those relationships, because it's not reciprocal. We label them as friends, and a lot of us identify friendships as, you have a problem, I'm there for you. I have a problem, you're there for me. But with the energy vampires, that's not the case. They don't look at it as reciprocal. They want to be helpful, but really they see themselves in such a chaotic state and that their life is always in crisis. Even when you're having a challenge, they will turn it back to their crisis because that's what they're familiar with. I don't think it's all that intentional that like, they don't know how to deal with your problems because they don't even know how to deal with theirs, right? And so you look like somebody who has it all figured out because you're not sharing your problems and your vulnerability with them because they haven't been a safe space for you. So then you become the person they come to dump on. Yay. Love that for us. So the best thing to handle energy vampires in your life is to first and foremost ask yourself, do I even want this person in my life? No judgment if you don't. I don't care if you're married to them or you're related to them. If they are not the type of relationship that lifts you up, that lights you up, that has some sort of benefit to it, then why are we entertaining it, right? And second to that is, if you do value them, you do want them in your life, then it is a matter of boundaries of how much access they have to you, and you being able to communicate when is a good time for them to come to you and when is it not, and when is it okay for them to come in and dump all over you. It could be as simple as asking them to say, hey, I'm in a pinch. I really need to talk to you, and have them text that to you so that you can stop whatever it is you're doing and find space instead of them just like interrupting your life essentially, right? Because you can be so focused on one thing and then you get that text, and obviously text draws our attention and you're like, oh my God, that person's in crisis. Now you've completely lost what you're doing, as opposed to saying, hey, they need to talk. Okay, let me finish up what I'm doing and now I can be present with you. So that's my 2 cents on the energy vampires. I totally understand it. I have quite a few in my life that I have love and value them, but also I know that there are boundaries in place, and working those boundaries to make sure that I am not over giving, because then I have nothing left to give for myself, for my family, for my job, for them, even as a friend. I don't want to be a shitty friend. I want to be a present friend, which means boundaries. And hey, my name's Tara, and I'm on a mission to create a self-aware army, because it's lonely in these self-aware streets.